So Anthony, we need to get you prepared so you can win AU or Australian Nats, so you can come to Worlds
That'd be lovely.
next year.
That'd be good.
Did they announce that they're gonna not allow foreign participants this year at Nats?
So what they've announced is that foreign participants are allowed to come and play, but if somehow they manage to win, then they would not be given the invite to Worlds. So they would pick up the prizings of like whatever medal cards or championship prizes or anything. They just won't get the invites and plane tickets to participate in Worlds, and that will be passed down to the next player.
Perfect. So that means this is
good.
your year to get it.
It'd be good. You know what that
That's
means?
kind of half-assed.
If it means to up the chance of me coming, we have to just flood the entire field with Americans, and so everyone gets that, and then I end up being the top placing Australian.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So that's what. So that means that Chris has to front all of us plane tickets.
Mhm.
We all go out there. He pays our way. We all go out there, and then we all just wipe out every single other Australian except for you.
Yep.
And then we just scoop it. We just scoop in the top cut. We all drop in the top cut, and then you're the only person in the top 16.
Holy shit!
Boy, what a scandal!
Yeah, I think Jodat would love to do
tournament.
Yeah, it's a whole staged event. And then we just look bad, and it's just we just clean out.
Yeah, and it's all admitted here. This is perfect.
Oh,
it's gonna work.
It'll 100%.
Is this everyone that's gonna be here? Are we good to rock and roll?
I think so. I mean, like I said, Dylan may hop on after, but if he does, he does.
If he hops on, he hops on. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Well, welcome everybody to another Game 3 Team Talk. This is Team Talk number 5, and we got some new faces here. We're going to be talking about some past regionals, and you know what? We first new face here. We got PACMAN. He's been a guest on the Team Talks before. This is our first time on the G3 version of the Team Talks, but welcome back. How have you been?
Appreciate it. I've been good, man. Just been trying to find more time to playtest and get. I have the weirdest work schedule, so like I actually should be sleeping right now. I work from like 4 a.m. to noon, so when most people are up testing, I'm in bed sleeping. So it's just weird. I'm just trying to get used to the work schedule and play more. Been playing DBS in One Piece, so definitely been having a good time as of late.
No, that's good to hear.
Well, now that you mentioned that, it's good that we have like 3 Hawaiian players on the team, because that's like our perfect play schedule. Is your schedule?
Sweet, perfect.
There we go. It works. Got people from all around the globe, and you know what? To mention all around the globe, we have Anthony here, all the way from Australia, and how have you been doing?
Yeah, I've been doing good. Just coming off the back of my first regional win after having top cut practically every event that I've played in for 4 years. So that felt really good. It's great to be joining on, and it's good to be with you all here. And looking forward to representing the team. It will be good fun. Looking forward to discussing how everything's gone and giving my input.
Awesome. Well, there was, I don't know, how many regionals are we going over here? I know we got Tennessee. We have the one in Australia, and was there another one that I'm missing here? Who played?
Australia had an in-person regional in Brisbane last weekend, so we had back-to-back regionals week on week, so that could potentially be brought up as well.
Well, you know what? I didn't participate in any of them. I was at work, so I'm going to sleep now. You guys go nuts. You know what? Let's start with the Australian regional, the one you got the top. You're the man of the hour right now. Let's hear about it. Let's hear about the deck. Let's hear about some of the matchups, how everything felt.
So I played Soul Striker, and I played blue for the most part. Like back in set 4 days, I was playing Harudagan. Set 7, I was playing like a blue-yellow control version of Harudagan. Going into set 10-11, I was playing SS4 Vegeta ramp and was topping that as well. I've it played Soul Striker on and off, and have always liked the leader. It's just a matter as to which format it suits it for the most part. And some will say that it's always a good leader, but like they're in a heavy control format, Soul Striker can feel rather difficult to play. And if it's really hyper aggro, then I'm not really going to play Soul Striker just because I'm more of that. I would prefer to play a deck that could deal with those a bit better. But at the moment, it feels really nice, and so I just think that it's one of the better leaders to pick up right now. It's to my mind, the format is somewhere in mid-range. Like the aggressive decks can push damage, but they're not able to kill you on turn 3. So like you're almost guaranteed to get to turn 4 in most games. From my experience, Soul Striker wants to awaken on turn 4, so it seems reasonable for that. And the control decks are not necessarily dropping instant win bombs. They're more like trying to grind you out of resources, so it gives time for Soul Striker to set up a potential control game. So that's why I chose Soul Striker. Regarding matchups, I played against Expert 21, the Set 20 Android 21. I played against a new Swap Freezer deck. I played against the Blue Trunks, and then in the final I played against Green Gohan. And they're all very different matchups, and being a mid-range deck, you have to play against them very differently, knowing what you're doing. There's a lot of really good players down here, so like even though our tournaments can be somewhat on the small side, the quality of the players is very high, and anyone who would dispute that just needs to ask the Americans that actually came over and played how the quality of their games were. I think it was Ritzy and Kentasi that came over to play, and neither of them went undefeated and were losing matches that they wouldn't necessarily expect to lose. Like there's some Australian meta can be weird because we tend to do our own thing and have our own beliefs. So yeah, it's weird. You never really know what's going to happen. Like we've got players that such as a friend of mine, Peter Bokta, who plays some random aggro green decks, and he's very good with them. But he would just playing them very well back when everyone would say that green was bad. You've got someone like John, who typically net decks a deck, but is such a good pilot that he'll just pick up a deck and play it really well. You've got Benny, who never reads his cards, but is a phenomenal player and will outthink most people. Like there's a bunch of really good players that you wouldn't expect, and there's more than that. But yeah, no, it's I think it's a testament to the players that you see the same names up at the top cuts week in, week out, event after event, year on year. And during, I think the best demonstration for that would have been over the COVID period when the various online events started being put into place. It gave us the opportunity to start playing in some of the regionals that was run by the Americans. I recall that Max Kennedy, Benny Zhang, and myself, and there might have been one other, but I can't remember who it was, joined in and played. I think it might have been the online Gen Con event, which for us was like midnight, 3 a.m., something ridiculous. But we all played it. I think in that event I came, I was definitely top cut. I might have finished as high as 4th. Benny, I think, just made, I don't remember if he made top cut or not, but he would have been fairly close. And I think Max at one point would have been up there as well. So it was good for us to experience the American events, and which is why it's nice to have these online international events where we can actually play against people from all around the world, because it's a smaller community down here, but there's still a lot of very good players.
Do you feel like, because we talked the last regional the week before, and Pilaf and the tournament pack cards weren't legal, did you get a chance to play him in this one? And would you say that he's going to be a pretty big key factor for Blue going in the future regionals?
Okay, so anyone playing a mid-range or control deck with Blue should be running 4 copies of that card. And like it's not the thing that people haven't realized yet is that they're comparing it to the wrong card. They're so busy looking at it's an upgraded version of the old Pilaf from set 2 that they think, well, I didn't need Pilaf in my decks, therefore I don't need this new Pilaf. Whereas what they should be comparing it to is like a super combo, which they use in every deck. And the reason for that is that you can hold up the energy that you would use for a pseudo super combo, and then activate it, counter, draw a card because you've played it. It's an extra easy cantrip. And then the extra 5k or even 10k combo comes from its ability to remove combo from your opponent's combo area when they actually try and push through some damage. The fact that it also has the ability to hit keywords is just added utility. So in a control mid-range blue deck that wants to thrive in the combo step, Pilaf is an absolute, it's a monster. And because it's just a generic cantrip, like if you've got an extra copy of them in your hand, like let's say you've got 3 in your hand, you need 1 for this turn, 1 for next turn, you've got a spare one, just play 1, draw a card, leave it on board. If your opponent doesn't remove it, the activate battle is a once per turn, not a limit 1. So you could have multiple copies of it on the board and bottom deck multiple combos. So it's an extremely powerful card. Yeah, treat it as like the pseudo super combo, not as the complete replacement for Pilaf, and you will want 4 copies of it in your deck.
PACMAN, you're muted.
I see him going off. I'm just like,
I really like that card a lot. I would have played Oob for Tennessee, for the Tennessee regional if I would have got my hands on 4 copies of those because of that ability that it has. Like it just has so much protection for blue right now, and it's a beautiful replacement. Isn't for probably like something like Dirty Burst. Because those Dirty Burst slots, yeah, it stopped your bigger bodies, but because they swing with those bigger bodies and like to dump in, and those bigger bodies that you're being attacked by have all those crazy keywords on them, and then you can just play that and then just blank that keyword, draw a card. It just has so much utility for blue.
so 4 copies of winners already.
Oh, not yet. I will be getting my 4 copies of winners though.
No.
I just looked at the price. I ain't got the money like that right now.
What's it at?
I'm just gonna get them at locals.
They're at, like, I don't have locals anymore. My locals died because people wanted to go to other games.
Like Fortnite TCG. You're right.
Yeah.
The good stuff. No?
All right, who here, for anyone who's been playing this game for years and years, the new trio card, I guess we could say that Shoe Control is back.
Right.
Technically.
The one drop to vanilla.
Yeah, that's the one. We've got to bring back Blue Shoe Control, back when people would overwhelm the trunks to bring in the vanilla Shoe and play that deck, except this time it can be played with the trio because it's Shoe.
Perfect.
You heard it here first.
That card isn't restricted, right, to blue leader? Or
No, it's not. You can actually play it in any deck that has blue energy. Like, it is open to everything. Run it in Cooler Mill. Run it in some multicolor deck that
Android
has blue
16.
in it. Run it in everything.
Android 16.
Yeah, you said Cooler Mill. He's there stroking his beard that he shaved. Just what? What'd you say?
No.
He's getting sensual now. Anytime Cooler Mill's brought up.
Bro, what is? I wasn't around for this. What is this Shoe Control?
It
I can explain
it.
It was a
It's
meme
just,
that if you didn't know what it was doing, was actually half decent. What would have been set 4 or 5, something like that?
Okay, I started set 6. That's why.
Yeah, it's
pretty
basically, that overwhelm that plays a skillless. It
Yeah.
was being seen a lot, like in Kid Coup format, I believe. And then people were just like, "Oh, we should play Shu because he's better than the other vanillas." And then, like, I think someone bought him out, and then they were just playing because he was like one of the few blue vanillas. It was pretty funny.
Wait, that's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
The
You know
deck
what?
became known as Shoe Control.
I kind of want to just do it.
Doesn't it? Doesn't he give it crit? And that's why they were calling it control or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Yeah,
gives,
it gives
it
you
crit.
crit.
Interesting.
Back when this game's power level was much lower.
Much lower.
Yeah,
Simpler
vanilla
times.
power creep was totally a thing. And you're like, when all 2-drop vanillas were still 10Ks.
I think 2 or 15, right? And then it went
Yeah.
to 20.
Yeah, 2 or 15. Sorry. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was when the 3-drop champ Goku came out, where everyone's just like, a 3-drop vanilla, it's 30k, this is insane. And then the next set, oh, here we go,
Did you
here's
say I can
30k.
bring out a 30k vanilla for 2 energy with this Goku? Oh my!
Yeah, it's busted. And I can just combo off my Android 18s, and there goes your card. Sorry, man. Or sorry, my Goku when I have Android 8 on the field.
So do we feel that, given the data from these most recent regionals, that we already have a good idea of what the future of the format is going to be until, I guess, Gen Con? Or do you know how normally our first events are very aggro and then they tend to change, but it seems like Gohan.
I was gonna say, well, at the Tennessee regional, Gohan was definitely heavily represented. I think he got first, second, and fourth at Tennessee. And I think there were at least 4 or 5 in the top 16, if I'm not mistaken. I got 17th at the regional. I bubbled out, but I did get my invite. I know Robert Rizzi was on Gohan. I know Jared Lopez was on Trunks Jeeta. He was there. Yeah,
I think Jared just wants to play everything from set 16 until it gets banned.
Well, that and he's trying to work on his 16 list. I've been talking to him about it. He's working on something with green 16 as well as blue, of course. But obviously blue 16 is his favorite deck and the deck he's had most success with. But yeah, the meta was like walking around after finishing my matches. Because like I said, I played Trunks Jeeta. I mean not Trunks Jeeta. The Crimson Lambo, SSG Trunks. For the event, and when I walked around, it was just wide open. Like there was decks of you name the deck, it was there. New Cell was there, Old Cell was there, Swap Frieza, Control Frieza, Cumber, Gohan. The blue decks was 3Han. 3Han was everywhere. I saw a Gohan skillless deck there. Garlic Jr. Because one of my friends, Spirit Bomb, Majin Vegeta, Trunks Jeeta. But like, the meta's really wide open, and it's something that it's hard. It's gonna be really hard to like side for everything. But I think that if you're gonna play this game competitively, if you can't beat Gohan, you don't play the deck. And there's literally Gohan. I've seen Gohan built 3 or 4 different ways, and they're all good. And it's not like it's the green generic deck we've been waiting for a very long time. Somebody I saw it on Lookout this morning. They were playing. He didn't have access to all the cards, and he was playing this old Spopovich card. So red. He made it red green Gohan. Taps 3, plays Spopovich. Looks at the top. It says, I think take top 5 cards of your deck and place them under a chosen card. He was playing the 10-drop Jiren and putting it under, and then using the ability from Hyperbolic Time Chamber to play the Jiren for free, blow up all your energy in rest mode, swing quad strike.
What a dirty bastard! That is good. As soon as you said Spopovich,
Counter players ready, people. Have your counter players ready.
Oh
right.
God.
So and that deck was in. Just I watched that list and I was like, that's insane. Then you got the crit route for Gohan that Robert Rizzi was playing, and he was playing the Gogeta BR super combo with the Vegeta, so he can keep looping his super combos. Like they're trying to get that banned immediately because no one likes the fact that we could loop our super combos. Even with Expert 21, that deck was there too, so looping their super combos. It's just I feel like if your deck can't beat Gohan, it's not worth playing competitively.
I agree. I actually said that last week in the team talk.
Yeah, we had that conversation last team talk. Did you play against the Gohan with the super combo loop?
No, I did not play against the Gohan with the super combo loop. The Gohan that I did play, that was like round 5 for me. It was against my friend who's from my locals. And me and him been working on the list, so I kind of like know what his deck did. I knew what to expect, so it was and we play tested each other a lot, so I knew his play lines and stuff like that. But I went first, and the beauty about the dice roll is if you go first against Gohan, you're at a better advantage. And Black just has all the answers to it, I think, because we have petrification and it turns off their on play autos, their on swing autos, and then we also could just warp the cards the next turn and then they gotta reestablish. So if you can just, I think you have to out aggress them. You have to put them down as fast as you can, and you have to be the aggro deck even if you're the control deck. And it's just weird to say that because I played control decks against it, and like I was playing Golden against it, and I had to be aggressive. Like I had to swing with my leader. I had to push him and put those cards in his hand, because if I don't, it just buys him turn, because they don't want to awaken till turn 3 anyway. So you want to push them to awaken on your terms. And if you can, you shouldn't have too much of an issue against the Gohan deck. It's easier said than done, I guess.
Well, I'll ask you this: how's that Lambo support treating you?
Hey man, that Lambo support is really good. I can't say it enough. That Kai, and it was just 2 cards really, the Kai and the 8-drop. So my first round I played against Shin Shinron. And I opened the Kai in hand, the Unison in hand, a Goten in hand that I can play from the warp, which is the only 3 cards I really needed to see. And then I warped everything off the top that I needed. The 5-drop, the 8-drop, and literally the best turn in the deck, in my personal opinion, is turn 3, because you don't want to awaken until then, because you can get the best combo off, which is tap 2. If your Unison's already established, you tap 2, play the 5-drop. Now, since I was playing against Yellow, I had to play around Haze. I was like X Evolve straight into the 8-drop. He had the Chant Pack card on the board. I swung with the 8-drop, warped it. I drew a card off of playing something from Warp. When I awakened, I had 6 cards in my drop already from comboing. And then I just tapped 1 and played Tenacious, and he had 1 battle card swing for the turn. Plus his leader swing, I put him down to 2 life on 2 energy, and it was just like being able, you can make that deck go so fast, which is why I call it the Crimson Lambo. Or you could just put it in cruise control and just play the mid game. And it's those 2 cards are beautiful. 30k triple strike, warp something, ignoring barrier, and then being able to play the Kai Unison for 1 energy and not having to tap out on 2 every time. Like, it's insane how much those 2 cards just elevated the deck. And then with Dirty Burst being out of the game, there's not much you can do. Having access to like Super Kamehameha, being able to you have a Spirit Boost Awaken for free. Z Awaken for free. You Spirit Boost 2, move 2 Z energy. And that's as long as your Unison's gonna be there, it's a 25k double strike on your turn. I can't say it enough. I think it's the best Black deck. I think it puts Black back on the map. Cumber's like right there, but Cumber takes a little bit longer to set up, in my opinion, because you're gonna cycle through your cards, bottom decking your cards, trying to get your pieces. Whereas I'm just gonna warp everything off the top of my deck. Cool.
Yeah,
if I play against. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was saying I took Cumber to the Tennessee regional, and yeah, it was. So I tested against Green Gohan.
Oh, you were there?
Before. Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
So I took Cumber, and I didn't do as well. So I was expecting to play against like Green Gohan and stuff like that, and I haven't played in like the last 3 weeks, so I haven't tested against any of the new stuff. So round 1, I had Trunks Vegeta, and basically the 1-drop Black Saiyan won me that matchup. Round 2, I played the 9th place Blue Gohan SH. So, so what? I wasn't prepared for the Oob support. I hadn't seen any of those cards. So like,
yeah, that's insane.
So yeah, so like you saying, Cumber takes, he starts getting rolling at turn 4 once you get your 8 drop out and so on and so forth. I don't think I even got to 4 energy. I didn't side in any of the Masked Saiyans to beam myself, or I didn't, have like a Protector of the People or something. So I had, of course, the Fuse Z battle card. They have the Vegeta that if you have no cards on the field, it just removes any battle card basically. Like it gives your opponent the option to choose, but because so my or my food was gone. I just couldn't keep a board, and I couldn't. His like turn 2 or 3, he had like 7 battle cards on the field, and I'm like, I guess I'll give one of them servant. So, yeah, turn.
The one of the crazy things that I would say is I don't care if you kill my unison. Like if you attack my unison, I'm a U7 deck at this point. It's black U7 in a sense because I awaken at 8 life, and if you waste all your resources attacking my unison, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna overwhelm, put it back in my warp the card from game, replay it with 2 markers, plus to gain a marker, play something from warp, put another marker on it. It's gonna come back right with 4 markers. You're gonna do it again. You're gonna waste more resources on it, and it's just like I don't have to have as much of a setup as Cumber. Now, granted, I can use some of the Cumber cards in the Xeno deck, but I don't think it's good enough. Like I did my deck profile. My deck profile will be posted on YouTube. So if you guys, it's PACMAN special. If you guys are watching this, you can go check me out there. And I literally break the whole deck down. It's a long video, but I go through all of the cards and the reason why it originally was not my list. I got it from my buddies over at Hermit Style, my friend Jay. He's been on me about playing more, playing better, because all of last year I top 64 and I just couldn't break the barrier to get through to the next level. And he was like, I didn't know what to play. I was torn between Oob 16 and actually I had sleeved up the Lambo, and I was like, I don't know what I want to play. And he was like, I'll give you the keys, because I had a generic list. I was like, I'll give you the keys, just drive it. And in testing, I played 5 games before Tennessee. Literally 5 games. And that's not best of 3, just 5 best of 1s. And I just put my foot on the gas in testing just to see how fast I can go. And he was like, don't play it like... He says, now that you know how fast it can go, don't play it that fast. Slow down. And then when you know when to push... I put somebody from 7 to 1 in 1 turn. So it's I think it's the, once again, like I said, I think it's the best black deck. I just don't see any other argument for it. Toa might sneak up there because nobody knows what Toa does, token Toa, but at the same time, I can play cards from my warp. I can draw cards. The Cumber secret rare is broken, absolutely broken in Trunks, because when it comes into play, it does 5 things. It's gonna generate me. Really 6. It's going to generate me 2 bodies, because I'll get the body from itself, the body from my opponent's life, or I burn a life. I draw a card because of my unisons in play. I put a marker on my unison, and then on top of that, if you play a card, I take your card. Like, I played against Trunks Vegeta. I looked at his life. He had Piccolo Super Combo, Servant Vegeta in his life. I was like, cool, leave Piccolo Super Combo. It's your last life. Put Servant Vegeta in his life. I had to play around Black Kamehameha. I go swing, resting the Servant because he had hit me with Mecha Repulse the turn the attack before, and he was like, yeah, go crazy. I went up to 100k. I saw him drop all 3 super combos. I knew I could generate 3 more swings. And I was like, yeah, I told him, I was like, your last life's your super combo, bro. And he was like, we'll see. And he goes Black Kamehameha, Heart of the Cards. I was like, it's not it, dude.
I already know where it is.
That's on your life, man.
Right. I was like, it's on your life, dude. He was like, you serious? I was like, I looked at your life, flip over. He's like, dang. Yeah. He's like, you just play. The deck, it can go mid-range. It can go late game. It has the answers to every boss monster with petrification. And it's just a good deck. Like, my 2 losses were to 2 red decks, and that was my fault due to inexperience with the deck. Because if you go back and watch the stream, I had the Gohan negate in my Z energy, and I couldn't get it to my drop. And the turn against Pan, and he told me if I had it, I win. And the last one was against Power Pole. And I prioritized because I watched Rojas stream the other day when he was playing Power Pole, and they somebody was playing Cell or some green deck. I think it was Cell. You swung, you had your Chi-Chi on board, and he deflection Kamehameha, and got rid of your Chi-Chi, so when he swung, you couldn't put the Gohan underneath him. I warped 3 Chi-Chis back-to-back turns. Like, he never got a Gohan under my leader.
Yeah, without Gohan under the leader, the deck doesn't work. Like, you're literally just sitting there, just waiting with your thumb up your ass, just like, well, maybe I'll get a Awaken next game. Maybe he'll take me down to 4. Maybe we'll see.
Where I made my mistake was when I put him down to 4. I should have just attacked and let him put the Gohan under there because he could awaken either way. At that point, but I warped the Chi-Chi the 3rd time, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna allow you to do anything, and that's where I made my mistake at that point. And it cost me the game because then he was able to Vegito secret rare me the next turn, and I couldn't get my Gohan in the drop. So
past turn 3, it matters less because past turn 3 you get access to the SR, which you only need a red Goku leader for, and then turn 4 the Goku Piccolo doesn't matter. You can play that as long as all your energy's red. It's all the stuff before turn 3 that you need to have a Gohan under your opponent's leader to even play the cards. So they are literally locked out turn 1 and turn 2 because I feel like a lot of the Polkus, I don't even know if they're running Unisons. I'm not running Unison in my build just because you can spam out a lot of shit if you're not. And it's kind of like turn 3 you can put on pressure, then turn 4 kind of seal the deal with the boss monster. But yeah, not being able to put on some pressure on turn 2 or like getting a giant hand from cycling stuff, like it's impossible. It's just like if you're awakening there, you're just like, oh well, okay, I got a power pole now at least. Like it just becomes an uphill battle.
Even with the Trunks deck, I don't care if you crit me. Fuel my overrealm. And I'm gonna put everything in my warp, and I'm gonna play it from my warp. My warp's the second hand, and it's just insane. Like the only thing that's really bad, probably I would say about the deck, is warping your super combos because you can't get them back. Once they're gone, they're gone. Like if I get a 3-cost super combo that I can get back off of Beyond Limits, then we're gonna have a problem. But if I don't think super combos will ever be 3 costs personally, because of that reason. Because once again, super combos are supposed to be a 4 of, and only a 4 of. So all those interactions where you can loop super combos, I think Bandai's gonna do something about them.
We did talk about that last week, Chris. I don't know. It's looking bad for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. The question I was just about to ask kind of ties into it. Do we think set 2021 is going to continue to be a consistent deck to beat, or do we think it's going to shift away or more to Gohan as the meta develops? Because 21 does thrive versus other green decks as well.
In my testing, I found it to be good.
You saying, like, do you think that the set 2021 is going to be good against the meta?
Well, it's going to continue to be one of the decks to beat throughout this meta.
I mean, as far as my testing against 21, it loses the aggro. If Gohan's around and Gohan's being aggressive, you're gonna lose.
I think
the Lambo's gonna go fast.
I think certain builds of Gohan are gonna punish it. And I think if people catch on to Xeno Trunks, and that becomes a severe meta competitive deck, then that'll punish it. I don't think any deck is going to be as prevalent and as punishing as Sin and SS4 was for Android 21. So I definitely think that it will never be as bad of a spot as it was last meta. And that's coming from a 21 player who violently loves the deck, but also hated playing it last meta because I mained 2 of the Android 16 arrivals that KOs a 4 or less. I mained 4 Kusus, and I mained 4 of the Android 19 Fat Boy negates from Gamma, and I still couldn't beat SS4. Like there was and 4 of the Android 17 negate defending friends. Like I mained all of that, and I still couldn't beat the SS4 deck. So like there was no way for me to fight that in the meta, and I think Android 20 is in a better spot right now. like one of our teammates has a Gohan deck where it's built more so to smack you with crit.
Brian?
Yeah, well, Brian got the crit build portion of it from Faisal because Brian was on something else.
Right,
So,
and
like,
Faisal got that from me. I actually have.
So our team.
This is what a team is for, boys.
Our team, exactly. Our team, regardless, has a crit build of Gohan, where that specific build will give 21 a problem.
No, it doesn't.
100%.
It doesn't. I've
Fight
been
to
able to beat
death.
it.
Let's hear it.
I've been able to beat it. The only time I've lost against our team's crit build was when Brian used it with the Bardock Unison, and push came to shove, and he played the Unison, went -3, and gave it triple attack, and that was the only reason I lost, and I've already rectified that issue. I've already got a sideboard answer for even that situation if I face Unison build. No. I actually disagree.
The way I see it is that I think that Gohan is represented highly because it's the new green on the block. It's generic and it can have lots of things fit into it. But I actually don't think its early tournament results are going to hold. I reckon going into the next few tournaments that as people learn how to play against Gohan, it's going to drop down in its high placements compared to how many Gohan decks there actually are. I think it's like most aggro decks where they're people that are not defending the correct way as opposed to saying they know a deck. Like I don't actually think that Gohan does anything inherently too strong that most decks can't deal with if they know how to, and if they know or can work out what's coming the next turn. Like I found I lost the first game I played against Green Gohan at locals, and that was my first experience against the deck. But having seen it once and knowing how it works, whether it be a crit line or just general green good stuff, at that point you know what it's doing and you can fight against it quite easily. Like the yellow decks should be running the Gohan thing that is like their version of Deborah. Green should be running their Vegetas. The other colors should have some Deborahs in their sideboard of some description, especially blue, and just hold some energy open and allow it to become a more mid-range game. Because from my experience, Gohan, once it's Z Awakened, starts to, like, it has a big hand, it has a lot of combo power, but it starts to run out of resources comes turn 4 and 5.
It does run out of gas. It definitely runs out of gas.
I felt, as someone who's been playing it a lot, the one thing I noticed is it almost feels like you're playing Reboot Gohan again, in the sense that a really well-timed negate can lose you the game.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk. People are figuring out the negates to run, like red, and everyone knows black petrification. But there's a lot of just one cost negates that just shut down the super rare.
So, regarding your question, Chris, about 21 as well, tying back to that, because I've been, since this set dropped, all I've been doing is playing that. I literally did not play it all last set, and I've been playing nonstop this set, and against the whole testing with the team, testing against other people, all that, right? Green Gohan doesn't scare me personally, but it's not I'm going to be cocky about it. It's you have to be prepped for it. It's just like Anthony said, if you understand what it's going to do, and even though there's different variations of the builds, if you're prepared for it and you understand what this can do, that line of play, this line of play, you should be fine. And I don't have any of the new shoe TP, and I'm not worried about it. Bro, if I have the new shoe TP, I don't even give a crap about the deck at that point.
Just remove crit, then they cry.
Literally, they have nothing at that point. The fact that they can be oh, I'm gonna play my A drop, but okay, rested for power my cost for my counterplay, you're done. You tapped out, now I kill you next turn. If you slam down, I've literally done it where I've established 2 of the A drops on board, and it's please, by all means, use your floodgate against me. Please go -6 in hand, go -7 in hand. I dare you. They're not gonna do it. You have ways to win it. However, I will say, if Xeno Trunks becomes more popular, that's an answer to 21. That is so hard to face. It destroys it. The leader being able to warp anything is way too good. You Spirit Boost 1, warp, problem card, gone. Problem card, gone. And you can never swing with your A drop because of petrification. So if the Trunks Spirit just leaves one open, even if they bluff petrification, it's enough. If you tap out and then play the A drop and you swing with anything, just go petrification, you've tapped out, you lose the game.
I learned my lesson too many times. against yellow and black, leaving one energy up, playing Android 21. Wes playing black, and then Brian and Frank playing yellow. Just makes my butthole pucker when I'm trying to play against that deck.
Try to restand
Scares the
5,
shit out of
baby.
me. Just the two of them, man, scare me so much.
Well, that's the thing, though, right? Is like, but every deck has this type of situation where, like,
Yeah.
like if you understand how to beat it, you can beat it. But it's also like you guys were saying earlier, we're in a very open meta. Like, just about
It's wide open, man. It's so wide open.
Yeah,
Cooler Mill was there too. I didn't.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's also, you know, there's no incentive to not be an open meta. Also, given the lack of events, you know, until next set. Like, I don't know. I feel like when there's not like this stacked level of events coming up where people want to figure out the format, then why not have a little more fun with it?
Yeah, I lost to a red Bardock that got 21st.
No, that's a good deck.
Yeah, that deck's crazy now.
I fucking love that deck.
We're in a bit of a situation where the aggro decks are not too aggressive. The control decks are not too controlling. The mid-range decks can flex between the two. So it's only natural that you've got a very wide meta because virtually every deck can play to some degree. So
right.
That's a good thing. I think that's better than seeing 2 leaders, right?
I don't recall seeing Golden Frieza as much in Tennessee. I don't think I've seen one.
Maybe I've seen one. I think I only seen one Golden Frieza.
Yeah, and I know I saw the one swap Frieza. And then, but I can only speak for America because that's where I play. Gohan will be the most represented deck at least for the next 2 or 3 regionals for sure. Until it's figured out. Like, it's gonna get figured out. Like, and it's the same thing that happened with Gogeta in the beginning. Gogeta got figured out. It fell off for a little bit. Then the little beam got hit. And then they re-figured out how to make the deck even still move just as fast.
That Gohan promo.
That was because of the new TV promos and stuff that they got.
Right. So outside of that, I mean, if Red not being in the meta as much as it is, it feels good, dude. It feels good that the meta is wide open, and I prefer the meta that way because it gives people the ability to make more creative decks, to do a lot more different stuff, and I think it is going to show the skill set of what kind of player you are competitively, because you're gonna take a random deck that you don't have. For example, Soul Striker. He took Soul Striker. Nobody's playing Soul Striker like that, man. Who's playing Soul Striker?
They should be.
Right. But like no one's playing that because 21's the big blue deck. You know, it's the new toy. But at the same time, when I was talking to Breer when I was playtesting Oob, I think Oob has legs. Like Oob makes you make so many decisions because I'm making you charge Z energy. It is the weirdest blue hand control deck I've ever played. And if you make a mistake, if you make a mistake and Z charge the wrong thing, because you gotta think about it. When you charge in this game, you're charging a card that you don't need in this situation, right? The minute I tell you to draw one and charge another card and put one in your Z energy, now you have to make a choice because I've already charged the card I don't need the most in my hand. Now I gotta charge the next card I don't need the most. Then let's say you draw the out that you need. I just keep doing it. Oh, you build a board. I'm playing. Oob. Put those 3 cards in your Z energy. Like the only thing that scares Oob is the green Jiren. You play the green Jiren, I blow up all my Z energy. I can't do anything. That's the only card I've ever lost to. But it just stops me from using my leader skill, and it cuts off Cooler. But I think Gohan Beast is the secret rare that you run in the deck because it allows you to be aggressive. So
a bit of a secret rare.
Oh yeah,
it's the meta. I just feel the meta, man. I can't say this enough. I like where DBS is, and I started set 10. And coming from the old the Surge format, I didn't get to play it. Everybody says good. You didn't miss anything because of Surge Piccolo and stuff. But like I was there for Mecha Frieza, King Vegeta, Gart Broly, Gogeta, like Icarus, the last format we were just in. So the game feels so it's like it got a breath of fresh air, and it's just like people saying the game's dying because Bandai's got all these games. it's far from dead, bro.
Nope.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
would
start
say
playing until
I just want to comment that Peak Surge format was one of the fun formats I played in.
which format?
Peak Surge format, like
Okay.
tricolor, the era of tricolor decks where you're just playing 3 to 4 colors because it's just like good stuff decks all around.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really skill intensive format.
watching old
Set 7.
watching old videos of the tricolor Surge Goku, I thought those decks were insane.
Zeno button, man. Zeno button.
Oh, good.
That's a good card. I still remember like seeing that card before all the like Arrival and the stuff that made it good was there. I'm like, so why does this card even exist? Like I've never seen anybody play it once. This card sucks, and then that happened. And it's like, oh, this is amazing.
Zeno Button was a card waiting for counterplay skills, and once counterplay skills were available, the card's nuts.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, this is the best extra card.
Like Zeno Button back in the day was only useful for making the 10k combos in your hand any good, which meant that the card itself wasn't really all that good to begin with.
Mhm.
All right, boys, I'm gonna call it a night.
Yeah, I
It's
think
10:30 over here.
this might not be a bad place to end. We've already been going for almost an hour. Maybe some of the beginning will be cut off,
I can go
but
to bed,
yeah,
too.
you can go to bed. I know everyone
Get you a
on
good
different
3 hours of
schedules,
sleep.
but no, that was
I'm gonna get like three hours sleep.
well. Good luck tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, Beer, if you want to hit us on the way out, let's hear it.
I mean, thank you all for watching, and just like PACMAN said, it's a breath of fresh air. Have a good time, everyone. If somebody says this deck's trash, who cares? Have fun with it, Amos. Have a good time. It doesn't matter. And make sure to check out Rosas in his stream, Kaioken Cards. Make sure to check out the PACMAN special, of course. Absolute beast, right? For Anthony, I believe the channel was DC Card.
Collector's Card Company Gaming. So Collector's Card Company, the guys down here in Melbourne. So yeah, everyone go sub to them. You'll get the deck profiles from John, Benny, Peter. They've got my profile up there now as well. So yeah, they're the Aussie boys that are trying to put forward as many of the top ranking decks from down here in Australia.
Hell yeah. And then obviously, I guess check out my stream too. Not that it matters. And then obviously, shout out to our sponsor Game 3. Shout out to Chris and the legendary TCG Metals, right? And yeah, was it the super players always said? Was it Stay Super or something like that? I think I don't know.
No one say anything. No one say anything. Just keep them there. We're just gonna stay frozen. Just look at them. Just look at him. And he also forgot Hoffman's Labs. Come on, there was like 10 there to do. Come on, Charles. It's because he was gonna leave first. He's he's ready to go. His beard's too large now. That's what it is. He stole some from Beer. It's okay.
Yeah.